Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play The Consuming Shadow. Where we left off, we had died again. A giant face caught us, and we woke up several hours later without a whole lot of life, and our sanity drained. I spent some time between that last video and now, reading up on The Consuming Shadow for any tips or tricks I might be able to gain, and I have discovered one or two things, which will hopefully make this a little bit better for me. I also watched Mr. Yahtzee play the game himself to gain a few tips, and I never would have figured some things out had I not watched him play and read the papers that I had read. We should do better, assuming we don't get unlucky again, so let's play another new game and see if I can't put what I've learned to good use. I'm being a bit vague because I want to describe it when we actually get to these parts. And as a heads up again, everyone, or maybe for the first time, today is August 20th, I believe, 2018. This video will not be going up until sometime in September. So unfortunately, if you guys have been leaving me tips or tricks, I have not been able to put them to good use. Let's see what we can do in this game. We will pick the Scholar again. He is my favorite character due to the slow build-up and tension. So, let's play him. Terrifying visions of the ancients swim through my mind, combined with visions of Stonehenge. I estimate 3 days before the barrier breaks down and one of them invades. I know what I must do. Explore places touched by the ancients, assembling clues to piece together the banishment ritual and the identity of the invading god. But I'm not sure how I know this. I have the strangest feeling that it might be because I've already done it. Okay, we get to place some of our birth stars. Oh, this is a nice group to have. Additional lockpick chance, which can go up to 14%. Some health. And a crab. Alright, so the crab gives us health. We get ammo capacity for the hunter. And lockpick chance for the thief. Let's grab 2 ammo capacity and 10% lockpick. To start. What else do we have? Random spells. And research. Plus extra sanity. I'm thinking we'll grab more lockpick chance. A little bit of health and more ammo capacity. I think I will grab a lot of sanity. It seems very useful to have a good deal of this. We'll grab 24 of it. With 2 stars left. Let's grab a good deal of life. And finally, I think we will take some random spell chance. We'll take 3% of that as well, to take advantage of our 24 sanity. Alright, let's get going. You can find the information you need in towns tainted by the shadow. If you want my advice, start from Twinborough and work it out from there. Let's see what's on our map. Well, Twinborough is right next to us. It looks like this place is clean of the shadow. We could go there first to get some supplies, but I think we'll just go right to Twinborough to start. We'll probably get a message from the Odd, directing us to go someplace to stop an invasion. Not on this way, though. Alright, let's enter and hope we do a little better. The townspeople here are friendly in the most disquieting way possible. There is a hollowness to their attitude that belies a combination of entrancement and evangelism. Some, unaffected ones, pull me aside and warn me off. Many have been taken, they say, and return changed. I hear disquieting tales of physical transformations concealed behind clothing and cosmetics. Everything points to some kind of evil consciousness, a dark, controlling presence buried somewhere out of sight, puppeting and perverting. This is going to be a strong creature we have to kill. A small amount of surveillance has revealed a pattern to the behavior of the possessed townspeople. I frequently see them coming and going from an ornamental public park that forms the town's centerpiece. The park is severely overgrown, perhaps deliberately, so it is unclear what happens to the people who go in there. The only way to find out is to mount what may turn into a jungle expedition. Oh, this is always a very tough one to get as our first mission. More likely to take a wound or broken bone or who knows what. Wow, haven't seen a little one of those in a long time. Many cultures have quaint associations with colors. To the ancient Polynesians, orange was regarded as the color of love. It was supposed to be the color you see at the very moment of orgasm. The color orange is associated with the concept of lust. There's a corpse here. The damage to the body appears to have been made post-mortem. The actual cause to death appears to have been exhaustion. A rune. The EU rune has been inscribed on the wall here in orange. It could be either a marking of territory or a gesture of thanks or recognition to another god. So, I think... As I invoked the rune, I felt a wave of answering energy from the wall. I felt an inexplicable ease upon my mind. You can gain sanity by casting the runes you see floating in the air. It doesn't happen all the time, from what I've read, but it can happen. I never knew this, and I don't remember if the game ever told me this was a thing you could do. But now that I'm aware of it, it's very useful to know. That's the creature we're here to kill. The syllable BTI had many uses in the language of the ancients, most notably as a first symbol of a notorious dispel, purported to be powerful enough to banish a god. There's nothing of importance left to do in this place. The longer I stay, the more time I lose. We're going to take our time, however, and explore our way out in the hopes we don't get a hunter creature after us. I have found an ancient 9mm pistol with 3 usable bullets in the clip. Day 12. The chieftain's son has contracted a hideous disease that coats him in boils. The wise man's remedy is to chant a word that sounds like Thoth, apparently the name of a spirit related to illness. Thoth is a god of disease. Wow, that did not go so bad. The townsfolk are not immediately better off with the extermination of the creature behind their enslavement. There have been several murders and suicides already as the memories of their actions return. The best thing I can do for them now is leave them to heal. You received a text from the Ministry of Occultism. The Shadow has a definite foothold in Finsley, and it's going to make its move soon. You don't have to help out, but these things escalate quickly. We should always heal ourselves between all the missions. Well, actually, we don't have to. We could hopefully get a spell at some point. I don't yet have enough. Well, actually, I do have enough to know that Kathoth is a god. And I know it is disease. That's the only thing I know for certain. That's pretty far away. We may not reach that in 8 hours. Let's go to Kiddington, Old Hope, and Finsley, and hope we can make it to Finsley in 8. But if we only have 5 hours left here, I don't think we'll make it. You received a text from a family member. I'm going to ignore all texts from family members, unless my sanity gets to about 3/4, at which point, or 2/3. Because we have a chance to recover sanity, lose sanity, or gain money. I think the odds are heavily in the you lose sanity, though. Let's enter the town. The atmosphere is tense here as news has spread of the darkness infecting neighboring towns. Besides that, I cannot sense the shadow's influence for now. We will keep going. I don't think we're going to make it. If it takes us... We have 2 hours left at Old Hope. There's no way we'll make it to Finsley in another 2 hours. Yeah, we will have 2 hours left by the time we make it there. I stopped to enter a corner shop that didn't look abandoned and was confronted by an armed man in hastily assembled survival gear, demanding money from a terrified cashier. He attempts to simultaneously cover both me and the cashier with his gun. Flicking his arm left and right, his eyes are wide and nervous. Let's talk him round. At first, it seemed like I was getting through to him, making calming statements with my hands in the air. But I took a step forward too quickly. He flinched and brought the gun down on my head, sending me sprawling. When the stars had cleared away, I was alone in the shop. Both the robber and cashier were gone. I returned to my car feeling foolish, nursing the throbbing lump on my brow. No, this is going to take way too long. We simply do not have the time to make it to that place. Oh, actually, we have 3 hours left. We could make it to Finsley and then come back here. How much time it is left? It's 8:20. 40 minutes. It won't take me 40 minutes to do this. Let's enter this town. The shadow cast upon this town hits me like a foul stench the moment I leave the car. Everywhere I look, I see eyes dropped and jaws slack in silent wails of anguished torment. I saw a terrace of houses, all with doors smashed in and curtains closed, soaked with splattered blood. This is not the typical work of the shadow. This is all coming from a source. A loose, poorly handled magical artifact left to leak its foul energies into everything around it. I believe I have located the source of this otherworldly radiation, an administrative building connected to a local university. Perhaps somebody had the intention to study the artifact scientifically. It must be recovered. I am willing to take the risk, and I need to do it before I start paying too much attention to the screams and banging being made at the back of my mind by my sense of self-preservation. Probably a monster in this one. Oh no, nothing yet. Alright, let's keep moving. Hopefully we'll find some keys. As long as you don't activate the creature, you're good. What's this? Looks like a page torn from a diary. Maybe I'll have time to read it once my mission is over. We did leave something of interest in that room up there, but I'll come back for that. That's the room we're supposed to investigate. I don't want to take that yet because we'll get a hunter creature after us. Someone left their key ring here. Hopefully I can open all the doors now. Oh! You can slash the things it spits. I never realized that. The resort was closed down after complaints from visitors that the world-famous anti-anxiety treatment, consisting chiefly of chanting the words BTI Shim, was causing headaches and strange nightmares. Was that BTI Shim, I think? Well, we learned to spell. And when the king recovered, he displayed his bedsheets, which had become stained yellow with pus. From that day forth, yellow would be the color most beloved to the god of disease. We can say for a fact that that is yellow. In the language of the ancients, the name Catha is often identified with a symbol resembling a flat, square, backwards C. Catha is identified with the Shim rune. To counter cultists, once you have their 2 spells on the screen, match them. It will deactivate their shield and let you kill them with a single hit. Armor-piercing rounds also work against them very well. We'll save that for our return trip, and hopefully it will recover some sanity for us. Most of the engravings was too weathered to read the full banishment mantra, but the 3rd symbol was almost certainly the symbol Shum. Recovered some sanity. That is so useful to know that we can do that. That's the face. I cannot risk it touching me. There's some kind of survivalist cache here containing 2 hollow point bullets. The town is lost to the shadow, and nothing I could have done can change that. But perhaps with what I have recovered here, this will finally be the last. We have enough left that we can do another without needing to refill our medkit yet. Alright, let's head to Finsley. I think we can make it there in time. Wow, being able to recover sanity like that is so useful. We received a text from an unknown number. Let's open this. Are you the one spreading stupid lies about alien invasions? I live in Hoblich Church, and everything's fine here. Stop upsetting people. Where is Hobble Church? Is that place? Oh, okay, that information just told me that that place is fine. You received a text from the Ministry of Occultism. The Shadow has a definite foothold in Herschel, and it's going to make its move soon. If you have the time to sort this out, you won't go unrewarded. We've arrived at Finsley. I am brought to the problematic area and told that payment will be made once the problem is dealt with. I don't think the locals fully understand what kind of presence is in their town, but they showed much relief and gratitude as I made my way inside. Ah, mess. We have the bullets for it at least. Recently, I began taking the doorways the moment they come on screen. I see it. I don't feel like fighting it, whatever it is. A rune. The symbol on the wall seemed to grow more distinct for a moment. I felt an inescapable ease upon my mind. Yeah, that is so useful to know I can do that. I do not remember any instructions in the game that says that you can recover sanity that way. The walls of the cave were absolutely covered in the rune commonly pronounced as Batai, each one daubed on in with chocolatey red paint by what I sincerely hope were human fingers. The BTI rune is associated with the color red. I'm gonna leave and come back because that's what I need to take. I don't want a hunter creature showing up yet. I want to explore the rest of this place so I can run out more safely. I recovered a small handful of 3 standard 9mm rounds. I found 2 unfired hollow point bullets that appear to have been hastily concealed here. I have been gravely wounded, and the bleeding won't stop. Without treatment, I fear it will only get worse. I found a dusty stab-proof vest that isn't completely beyond salvage. Isn't that funny? That prevents wounding, which has been the death of me for the past few times. Oh! Interesting. It comes back. Please, I don't know what I did. I just tried the Angzibai mantra, and now everybody's dead. Somebody help me. Nothing left for me here. There's some kind of survivalist cache here containing 2 hollow point bullets. The people waiting for me outside seem determined not to ask questions. Upon my assurance that the problem has been resolved, they pay without quibble. I wonder if this will be the last time I visit this town. The atmosphere here is tense, as news has spread of the darkness infecting neighboring towns. Besides that, I cannot sense the shadow's influence. For now. Let's return to the car and heal ourselves. The town isn't actually taken over, so I can go ahead and visit the hospital. There was a discredited doctor operating a backstreet surgery here. They will heal me without questions as long as I have the cash. We can treat our bleeding, refill our med kit, and now we can see what they have for supplies. After an hour, I have found the following items on sale from individuals content not to ask questions. Let's take the skateboarder pads. Be useful not to have any of our limbs broken as well. We have a few bucks. We can afford to buy some armor-piercing rounds. Just 3 of them. Let's head over to Herschel. We'll go to Castle Row and then visit that place. And then we'll call it a session after that is completed. Something strikes my front bumper, and I screech to a halt. I am on a forested path and can't see anything in the road. I get out of the car, but there is still nothing around, and not even a dent in the bumper. I am then rooted to the spot by a gruff voice coming from somewhere in the darkness ahead of me. "Get away from the car," it growls. "Move away from it and step forward." attempt to flee. I throw myself back at the car, but the door has fallen closed. I fumble with the handle for a vital second. Just as I'm finally getting in, there was a crack of gunfire and something explodes painfully in the side of my torso. I put my foot down to get away, clutching at my wound. The bleeding is severe and will need to be treated at a hospital. Oh, wow. That is freaking terrible. So our bulletproof vest doesn't prevent that. We're doubling all the way back. That seems really lame. Seems really lame. Really lame. We have to go back here. I need to cure that at a safe town. There goes all our money. We probably don't have time to now reach the other place either. Herschel. Yeah, we don't have enough time. Let's open this up. Special ammo is more expensive, but worth it. Hollow points do more damage, while armor-piercing shots damage multiple targets. Oh, interesting. I did not realize that. The taint upon this town brings to mind the work of a medieval plague. There are people wandering the streets bent almost double, as if an invisible weight clings to their backs. I saw a tarpaulin in the street, covering a huge mass from which something that may have once have been a limb extrudes. Something far worse than a mere generalized taint has caused this. This is all coming from a source, a loose, poorly handled magical artifact left to leak its foul energies into everything around it. I believe I've located the source of this otherworldly radiation, an administrative building connected to a local university. Perhaps somebody had the intention to study the artifact scientifically. It must be recovered. I'm willing to take the risk, and I need to do it before I start paying too much attention to the screams and banging being made at the back of my mind by my sense of self-preservation. We've done this before. This time we're in a rush. If I actually want to make it to the next place, I have to do this quickly. Interestingly, the name Chozo, as well as associated symbol, is only ever inscribed in orange pigment. To do so otherwise is considered the ultimate blasphemy. It's worth the attempt. That's a lot faster. Stupid bug. I forgot that they can occasionally spawn something from themselves. I found a set of keys. These should make exploration easier. I have found something. Looks like a page torn from a diary. Maybe I'll have time to read it once my mission is over. Worshippers consider it a grave insult to draw Balira's symbol in orange, as this is the color associated with one of their oldest and bitterest rivals among the ancients. So, this is... No, I don't know enough yet to make a guess. Let's search the... I have found a very old 9mm ammunition box with 3 bullets remaining. Why don't we try casting the spell? Or this rune. The rune upon the wall seemed to respond to the invocation. That did not restore sanity. Remember, it will not always work. Alright, that recovered, looks like 2 or 3 points of sanity. And I said I had to do this quickly, and now I'm taking my time. 1-5. Dear Meg, my teenager has been reading some very strange books lately, and has suddenly announced an intention to paint their bedroom red, describing it as the color of pain. Should I be concerned? This is what we're here to find. We will take it, and hope we can run out quickly. The god of disease has no particular interest in our realm. It seems to consider us unworthy of its attention, good or bad, insofar as we can understand the motivations of such a creature. This does not mean that this is the enemy. Actually, isn't Baryla? Color red associated with color pain. Baryla hates the god associated with color orange. No, this is not the invader. This is all I can guess at the moment. Nothing left for me here. I can escape now the same way I came in. The face is here. The town is lost to the shadow, and nothing I could have done can change that. But perhaps with what I have recovered here, this will finally be the last. 20 life... Well, 20% of our health kit left. We might make it there in an hour and a half, but I don't think we will. We'll still make the attempt. Out of curiosity, I stop when I see a man in a tailored business suit on the road, standing exasperated beside an extremely expensive car. He tells me that he has locked something important inside the car, and asks for my assistance. His awareness of the shadow and its effects seem to be somewhat limited, if he isn't simply blocking it out. We'll try to pick the door open. It takes about an hour, but after I remembered a trick I once read concerning locks of classic cars, I get the door open without causing damage. The man takes a leather briefcase from the seat and holds it to his chest like a newborn child. I cough meaningfully, and he remembers to give me 15 pounds as a reward. That 1 hour we lost, though, will make one sure I do not stop here in time. I have some intel that urgently needs to get to Saxon within 8 hours. Do it or don't, but if you don't, the town won't be safe for long. Herschel has fallen to the shadow. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you? While completely free of humans, this town is far from quiet. Some terrible organized force has torn open a gaping hole in the fabric between worlds, which has replaced all life in this town with a hideous, creeping essence. There are still people on this plane of existence misguided enough to want to summon otherworldly forces. And it's worth noting that this rift is a fraction of the size they will open for the Ancient, and it's still reduced this place to a ghost town. Before I encamp the runes necessary to seal the rift, I need to be next to it. Locating it was as easy as finding a good vantage point and looking for the spot over which multicolored clouds swirled and fluctuated madly. They were roughly over a high-rent suburb, and a small amount of investigative driving led me to the door of an unassuming detached family house. But it is the only house with illuminated windows, and not with the kind of light that comes from bulbs. Getting more powerful as time goes by. not in this place either. Empty so far, except for the monsters. The animosity is rooted in the suffering reportedly endured by a worshipper of Cathoth while captured by the cult of Bariala. Bariala worshippers seem to tell the story the other way around. Cathoth is the enemy of Bariala. I'll still leave it as possible, Invader, until I know more about Sho. I've recovered a small handful of 2 9mm rounds. A body lies at my feet. The damage done appears to have been made post-mortem. The actual cause of death seems to have been exhaustion. I don't think we have the key to that. And we're not going to lockpick that open. Oh God! I have found 2 armor-piercing bullets. Perhaps left over from some kind of police operation. Looks like the locals attempted to stop this, or someone did. I found a set of keys. These should make exploration easier. For some reason, a perfectly functional lockpick has been left here. Perhaps to be recovered later. That takes care of the seal. Only thing left to do is close the rift itself. Thankfully, time pauses during spellcasting. It's a shame. I wouldn't mind it actually taking longer, even twice as long, and you could try to match it. Reminds me of, like, in real time, reminds me of another game I had played once called Total Distortion, where you were fighting guitar warriors, and you had to play the same chord as they had just strummed. I found an ancient 9mm pistol with 2 usable bullets left in the clip. We know not to get close to that. That would be a bad idea for us. Things can pop out of the portal if you get too close to it. The God of Pain is not the god attempting to invade. I know you are reading this, Scholar. Your actions will have far further reaching consequences you could possibly imagine. That's weird. The god of disease is not the invading god. Cathoth, who is the god of disease, unless it's not. Unless there is any more loot to be found, I can safely call this operation complete. There was a dented old cash box here, containing 4 pounds and change. Oh, thank goodness, we desperately needed the money. With the rift closed, the endless ringing buzz has been replaced by the deathly quiet of a deserted ghost town. Still, ghosts are preferable to what resided here when I first arrived. I hurry back to the car. Well, there go basically our medical supplies. Alright, everyone. I think that will do it for us. Oh, we're not making it there in 6 hours, or I highly doubt it. We'll still make the attempt. We'll go to Waterchester and then head to Saxum. We might get there in 6 hours, but it will be very close. But that's for the next episode. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you then. Take care, everyone.